Like I've even planted a couple seeds to see who it was, and I'll say something, and then it'll come back around, and it comes back around to me. So already I know who. If I was fortunate enough to get that HOH, you know, they're gonna be my target.
People who like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, share the information. You share with them.
Yeah, but fuck, one thing I can say, man, is like I like the way you're playing the game, just nice and fucking chill outside looking in.
At the beginning, it's like you don't know
it's
anyone
still so
well
early.
enough.
Yeah,
you know, like you can't really make logical decisions based off of like knowing someone for 3 days.
I know,
what I mean?
and I kind of, and that's what I kind of did do, right? And it's like by the time it was day 8 or day 9, it's just like those people were already jumping ship on them goddamn selves. So it was just like I just like fucking opened up and said I'm staying away from this. That whole scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there were like sides building, but I think that's kind of like
I don't know. I still think that there's going to be targets. Like I still feel like Jared and Kelsey are going to dig, or you know what I mean, and that's going to go tit for tat. You know.
And I do think that like Jared and Kelsey want Levita gone, and I think if she's still here, that they'll have her eye on her.
Yeah.
But if Shari's here, she might kind of like slip into the background. I think if Shari's here, she can assemble.
Well, I asked Jared, I said, where if you had to cast a vote, he's like, it doesn't matter to me.
Like that, yeah. So I think maybe Kelsey cares a little more because she feels like Levita had like it out for her.
So
but she kind of wants to pay that.
Honestly, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know really how to really cut the cake, but I mean, like, if Levita does stay around and she does win somehow, she puts up maybe Jared and Kelsey. It's just another week of that we're kind of safe, and we have to do to just do the vote.
Sit back, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's like
it's funny how impatient it can be, though. You know what I mean? Like when it's like,
yeah. And it's like, honestly, man, I thought everybody like would have the general assumption that, you know, we get 2 new international players, well, let them be the first ones out the door. But now that I think where everybody's so kind of like likes Tim, like I don't think that's going to be the scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I honestly don't think next week anyone would. Maybe there's a couple people who would put them up because in some ways, like
they still want to stay under the radar.
Yeah, and it wouldn't rattle. Like,
too many. Yeah, exactly.
If you want to put them up, people wouldn't be pissed at you other than like
them.
Tim and
yeah.
Nikki.
I don't know. Like, I personally don't mind Tim at all, and I think Nikki is eventually just gonna quit. She's gonna go home. Like, you can't pick and choose what you want to do here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, as in, like, you know, game wise, like, you know, I don't want to do this competition or I don't want to do this task. It's just like it's not really how it works. I mean, I feel like you're kind of a little bit on a high horse, and you're probably like a celebrity maybe where you're from, but I mean,
she's probably
us normal folk, man, like we want to go far.
Yeah, we chose to be here and knew exactly what we were getting into.
Exactly,
so
you know what I mean?
Like a different.
Even when we had that pep talk from, you know, the big brother there yesterday when they sat us down. It was yesterday, right? And it's just like, you know, you guys, you know, I kind of got my back. I'm almost playing like a game by myself at this point. You know what I mean?
I kind of feel that way too.
Yeah, and
it's hard when you're just like. I'm not really in like an alliance with people, and I get along with people.
Yeah, and that's good enough. And you know what I mean? Like, there's players like, in my mind, man, there's just like players like Christine, yourself, that are just kind of like letting everything just like kind of go work itself out is basically what I'm saying. And it's actually not a bad position to be in because people are naturally just going to go at each other, and you guys can just, you know, sit back week to week, cast your vote, and, you know, win an HOH here and there, and then people will just come to you, Mitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's basically, I kind of regret not playing that role myself already, but.
You kind of have to like go with what you go with.
Feel with, you know what I mean? I say what I say, man, and I do what I do.
And I'm a pretty quiet person in normal life, so I think that is why I've fallen into this position.
Yeah,
I'm not, like,
and don't let me knock the position because it's a good one in my eyes. You know what I mean? I've never heard somebody say yet that, you know, if I won HOH, Mitch would be my potential target. It just doesn't make sense for anything. You know what I mean? You're a pretty well liked guy so far from what I hear. Anyway, I know I haven't really talked much game with you, but that doesn't mean I got anything against you, Mitch. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
At all.
Yeah, it'll be crazy. I think the next couple of weeks will make it a bit more intense, just because I think it's like, well, sort of once Levita and Chari are gone, or if one of them's gone, then it becomes a game of like, okay, now people who say they're friends have to kind of like potentially cross those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't play buddy with 16
yeah, it
people.
ends at some point, right?
Right.
And like lines get drawn.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So you just hope you're on that. But it's weird, like in this game, even if lines are drawn, like the underdogs can still win if they win HOH. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you can have lesser numbers.
It'd almost be nicer to see somebody like, you know, like a Christine or even yourself win, where it's not in the power of the people that are trying to go tit for tat.
Right.
Because then you got to shake it up potentially. You know what I mean? Potentially, if you wanted to, you know. It's basically who you jive with at this point. Who do you like having conversations with? Who do you like, you know, enjoy spending time with?
That's what I came in thinking. Like you can play hard and fast, but you can't actually know people until you spend a couple of weeks.
Right,
like,
man. Absolutely.
With their brains, and then you can kind of see who says what to people and who tells you the truth, and then I think you have a more valid reason to like work with people after that.
I'm a firm believer that when you first meet somebody, you really don't meet them. You know what I mean? Some people kind
especially
of
on a TV show.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They put on the front like, oh, this is what I am, and I'm so good at this, and I'm so much that. But you give it a couple of days, and they have a bad day, and the true colors start to show. You know, they start to bleed through their shirt a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
Like, so. You know, it
only gets worse from here.
Yeah, no, and it's, you know, I'm game for that, man. I'm a gamer.
Yeah, no, it's fun,
like,
and then I think a lot of us have watched the show, love the show, and like it is what it is. I think it's fun.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Even if it gets a little messy,
it's like this is just like oh fuck, there's you know it's you can't go without the whole show without getting any blood on your hands.
And I think if you do, you're probably not going to win.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
Then you look like someone who just did nothing. And got taken to the end because you were doing nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I mean, it could be. I'm sure it's maybe somebody's strategy even in this house. So it's like, I don't know. It's nothing even like gets to a personal level. It's at a game level. You know what I mean? Like,
who's going to put you up? Okay, that's who you got to put up. You know
and that's it, right? And it's just like I know it. The writing is in the sand, and it's like, you know, you move forward. You got to try work your ass off for the next HOH. If you get put up, work your ass. Or if you lose the HOH and get put up, you got to work your ass off for the POV. You know what I mean? And I just have a feeling, man, where we just got 2 new people. This next HOH could be a double eviction or.
You're right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's only a matter of time before they're gonna get a, you know, throw one in and throw one in.
Yeah, there's gonna need to be a couple of those to like
even out with the time schedule. Yeah, exactly, right. And like, you know, it's like even a triple eviction wouldn't even be that far out of, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, fuck, things happen in this.
Yeah, I bet that'll happen at some point this year. I think it was a pretty dramatic moment on the last season.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know how you survive something like that. Like, how you can plan for that, because
you can't.
Even good players having like a solid game can just get screwed over.
Yeah, blindside. Like I thought Kevin played a good game last year. And
for sure. Yeah, that definitely like screwed him.
And that happened to him, right? It's just like it's like, oh fuck, you know, it could happen to me, it could happen to you.
Yeah. It's just and because it's kind of luck of the draw if there's like a POV in play, and just like the challenge the other day, like the first half was pure luck. Like if you had the right
with
key,
the locks.
You know what I mean?
With the locks. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
It's like it didn't really have to do with like how much you wanted it. The second half was more like skill based or thinking quick. But I know I was really shocked. Because I'm like, that's like a tenth of the whole prize of this show. Like, that's a pretty amazing thing.
And the thing is with me, too, is just like, I honestly think no matter how that girl would have flipped those couches, there was going to be 10 grand.
Oh, you think? It was like, you win no matter what? I really do. Well, that's pretty cool, then.
They made it pretty clear that, you know.
Yeah. That's fun. I really thought she was going to have to, like, give up her veto or something like that if she wanted.
One or the other?
It was pretty sweet that she got it, and she wanted 10,000
for sure.
Yeah, it was like 10,000.
She doesn't want to stir that pot.
Exactly, yeah. And 10,000, like, who's gonna turn that down? Yeah. You might leave next week. Who knows, right? Like, you guys should take it while you can get it.
Levita even said, like, if she won, she was gonna. I don't know how true it is, but she said, I'm gonna take Chari off the block. But
yeah, she had said that. I think she's been going back and forth. Like,
the day one, she's like, I don't want, like, when she got nominated, she's like, I don't want to be here, blah, 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 and I'm just like, okay, well, that makes my vote easier then. I'm not, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to force you to stay here. I don't see how in 10 days or 11 days that you just know that you're ready to throw in the towel. You got to be stronger-minded than that. You know what I mean?
But that's, like, a reason to keep someone like that, I think. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because I think she'll be more reserved. Like, I think Shari will grow from this and like learn her lesson, but I don't know if Levita will really. I think she'll have a hard time.
I think the pluses of keeping Levita is that she's gonna be a black sheep and she won't have too many people, man. And like she'll always be a target more than me and you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just. But with Shari, she'll cut deals, man. She'll manipulate you inside out. You know.
Yeah. And it's hard because like I actually really like Shari. You know what I mean? When it's, like,
personally,
she's
I
really
like
good.
More.
Yeah.
Well, game wise, I gotta keep. I'd like to keep. I can't say I want to keep. But
Right.
I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, that's what makes her a good player. Is like I think everyone likes her.
Oh,
Do you know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like I think she's is probably one of the smarter players here
Yeah.
and one of the better social players here, but
Yeah.
just got caught up in like a bad situation.
Well, yeah, she was just like, basically what she did, what she is guilty of association by is just by standing by her friend, which is her best friend, she says now.
Yeah.
And,
It's hard. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would have done the same thing if they had that type of relationship with someone. Like,
Right.
you don't know what
Right.
you do, but I guess they just played really hard, really fast. You know what I mean? They could have just, like, first week chill. You don't need to be overly strategic.
Yeah.
Like, who does the house want to
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
And then you kind of get out of there.
Yeah,
Scot-free.
I was, honestly, man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Mitch, I was kind of blown away by the
Me too. I had no idea.
I didn't think, like,
Especially, like, two
Kelsey,
girls.
I'm pretty sure Kelsey and Love walked in together.
Yeah,
And they seemed
that's why
like they were
Kelsey
gonna
was
they
kind of
were-
shocked.
they were-
Kelsey was like, I did not expect. Like, she thought, like, her and Love had one